Hello, I'm Catherine Johnson. I write for children. I write other stuff for adults. I write lots of things. I've been a writer all my life. These are two of my latest books. They're probably back to front, but never mind. To Liberty and Queen of Freedom. I write a lot of sort of historical fiction-y non-fiction nowadays. I write for TV. I've done a video game. I've done radio. I've done loads. So I was asked for some general hints and tips. Well, I think the most important thing to do is not be afraid to try stuff, see if stuff works, and realize that you're not necessarily going to keep everything. Try stuff out, explore your characters, and by that, don't just write them in scenes in your story, write scenes with them in that don't even go in the story, that they're not going to be in the book. I think the thing with writing is we think if we sit down and do 1,000 words a day, in 1 month I'll have 30,000 words. In 2 months I'll have 60,000 words, which is, it's a YA novel. 30,000 words could be a short middle grade novel, but it doesn't work like that. Very often most of the words we write are rubbish, so you've got to do it to get at the good stuff. It's the opposite to writing at school, where you would sit down, you might plan the essay and then you'd write the essay. It's not like that. Writing is more like sitting next to somebody and going, well, did you know what happened? And leaving out the boring bits and making more of the interesting bits. And it is an art, but it's a craft as well. The more you do, the better you get. And you've got to read the sort of books you want to write. Don't just read really good books, read some bad children's books as well. You think, I can do better than this. If you just read the good stuff, you'll think, it's all been done. There's no point. And there is some brilliant writing out there. That doesn't mean that there shouldn't be more, but it does mean that you will get so much nourishment from reading, and don't neglect it. You will find all the answers to your problems in other people's books because other people will have made those mistakes before. So first of all, read for enjoyment, and then read with your analytical head on. Look at that beginning, look at how much information that author gets crammed into that beginning without it seeming forced. The whole thing is we've got to be artless about it. We've got to make it look like we're just floating down the river on a swan, but our feet are going, because in the opening we're going to reveal character through action, not through a list, not through a dramatic scene. So, on the one hand, don't think about this too much before you do it. On the other hand, write it, then look at it with your analytical head on. I hope that makes sense. So, keep going, keep confident, and keep trying things out. You need to be good at writing, you need to have stamina to keep going, and you need to get up every time you're knocked back down. I hope that's helpful. Good luck. Bye.